Okay, starting off. My low yesterday was forgetting to tell you guys in yesterday's video that we actually do have a confirmed new Hot Ones guest, whom I'm going to be getting into, in a few minutes. My high yesterday was got to see America's Got Talent again. So I'm also going to be talking about, let's be honest, this is an episode of America's Got Talent. It's likely the next morning is going to be me talking about that, along with other miscellaneous things. And my act of kindness. Let's see, what would I consider my act of kindness? See, it's probably coming across that, he didn't do an act of kindness. He's a bad person. No, that's not how it works. You can really go more than one. You can go a day without an act of kindness, without doing anything kind to others. And you can just be a pretty okay day. But, I said we're doing an act of kindness. So, I'm trying to think of my day one yesterday. I guess, my act of kindness was helping out my father with something he had to do. So, you got to see him yesterday for a little bit, and I got to help him out with something. So, that was nice. So, with that said, good morning, happy hump day, everybody. And what did I talk about? Do I talk about the thing that persisted of the low yesterday, or do I talk about the thing that persisted of the high of yesterday first? And I did low first, I'll just do it again. So, we do have a new Hot Ones guest. That is a person by the name of Dan Levy. Or Dan Levy. Sorry, I actually had a friend, and actually I'm still friends with him, who has a last name that spells, it's, instead of a VY, it's VEE. But, that was semantics. So, what time did I just give away his name? Well, I think I gave away his last name, but the first name could be anyone, so I guess it's fine. Right. So, Dan Levy. So, I actually looked him up a little bit. Honestly, I have no idea who he is, outside of the fact that, his father is Eugene Levy, who's known for the American Pie movies, as well as, at least for me, that one Cheaper by the Dozen sequel. It's not that it was bad, vulgar, offensive, or anything like that. It just didn't really need to exist. It's just sort of there. Although I will admit, I did once look up that score on Rotten Tomatoes. How does that have a 6%? Granted, again, it had no right to exist, but a 6%? It's better than that. See, listen, I do watch a lot of good movies, and I only do try and watch good movies, but I've seen bad movies before. Sure. Do I even need to tell you about The Longest Yard remake? No. It's not as good as the original, but, for me, what really gets me going is the fact that I am a football fan. And, the camaraderie between the Mean Machines, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, all those guys. Like that camaraderie is there, and I'm sort of like that. And, yes, it also has Terry Crews, which, come on, it's already a win, right? Not to mention, they actually got professional athletes to be in that movie, too. That was, like Michael Irvin from my Dallas Cowboys. That was really cool. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kevin Nash. Seriously. They had a lot of professional athletes, wrestlers. And Goldberg, oh man. Seriously, it's not that I would have considered myself a die-hard, wrestling fan growing up. But thanks to my brother who was really into it, I ended up watching it a lot. And for a long time, really took a lot. it took me a long time for me to find, like, who my favorite wrestler is, per se. And it took to, like, the latter half, well into the latter half of when I started beginning to, like, watch it less and less. But who ultimately would become my favorite wrestler was Goldberg. That guy was awesome, man. I have no words. That guy was, I mean, yeah, he was awesome. But right, let's I've sidetracked on long enough. Let's talk about America's Got Talent, shall we? Right now, apparently we are still in auditions, which, man, how many people audition this season? Because usually you have like 4, maybe 5 episodes of auditions, and then we're done. Here, however, we have this is the 7th episode of auditions. Like the 7th episode in, we're still on auditions. Maybe they're gonna do stuff next week that's different. I don't know, because remember, this was the first new episode in 2 weeks. Yeah, actually a week off, and so actually, you know what? I'm sure people are probably wondering, well, if they took a week off last week, what did they have in that time slot? They still had America's Got Talent. They just showed the first episode of auditions. Basically, the season premiere is what they showed again, which, that's fine. Not really. I mean, I personally didn't watch it again because I'd already seen it before. But, it was still fun. But anyway, let's get into some of the acts that we had yesterday, shall we? Trying to look up some of the acts that were there. I mean, obviously I saw. So, let's see. The first act that they had was this one guy named Alex Cooper who was a roaster. He was on America's Got Talent before, but his jokes were actually so disliked by the audience and the judges that he obviously didn't get an opportunity to move forward. This time, though, he actually was good. I mean, they showed comparisons of what he did the first time he was on stage and this time, and there's a noticeable difference in how deep he cut, let's say. Like, the first time, that was a little, his insults were good, but they were still a little bit too much. I guess you could say it was too much of a good thing. This time was the right amount, so that worked. Next they did the puppetry company, like a life-size theater company there, and okay, that was awesome. Although I'm just saying right now, like, there's one scene where, like, the puppet is, like, playing hide and seek and out in the middle of the street, and then it shows, like, a car coming, like, no! And, like, the dog, like, saves the girl. Like, no, the puppy died! No! And then, like, it shows the doll sad, everything, like, looking, like, petting the dog, and then, oh, the dog's gonna be like, yes! Oh, man. Like, oh, good dog. Good dog. Okay. That's, sorry. I was up early. Again, when I watch America's Got Talent, they're like the 2-hour segments, I am going to be up particularly late, so that's honestly why I kind of a late start to this. But I digress. So, let's see. A couple singers and performers. The country singer, Cameron Ross, who, you know what, dude? I get it. It's hard, because here's the thing. He came out as gay, which, again, I'm straight, but, it's still, I can still, I see enough of the news. I see enough of, stuff going on, people of the LGBTQIA community, they definitely have their struggles even now. I mean, I actually mentioned this on day, I may have actually mentioned this on, like, day, at the end of Pride Month. But, I mean, that community receiving, legal marriage rights, that was huge. But, it's still a long battle to go. So, I keep fighting the good fight, and all I can really do is, promote, how bad it really is, and, hopefully, and maybe that can make a difference, I guess. I don't know. Seriously, the only reason why I'm not an activist for that community is because I really don't know how to be one. That's really the only thing keeping me from being an activist. I would like to know some instructions, perhaps. I don't know. Right. So, anyway, so let's see. Chicken jokes. Oh, the guy who was dressed as a chicken. That was really cool. Those ninja twins. They were cool. Let's see. Another comedian, John Hastings. He was actually pretty funny working with what he had to work with. That marching band. Yeah. That was impressive. I mean, by all accounts, it was really good, but let's be honest, I went to Horseheads High School. My marching band was awesome. And our color guard was always on point. Our color guard was so good, we were using colors that don't even exist. That's how good they were. That made no sense, and I don't care. Right. Let's see, a few dance moves. Sienna. There are actually a couple people from out of the country, actually. The puppetry company, a dancer, one singer was from Sydney. Let's see. There was this Israel couple who were from New York who did opera. And then they started doing stuff at home. Like, actual performances at home. Like, a guy sang with his dog. Let's see what else. There was a mentalist. There was a dog trainer who was like a little kid. She was adorable. And literally the most entertaining one is there was this one woman who was a singer. She was a very good singer. But it starts with the camera pointing at her. Then the camera zooms back, or she goes back, and she's on a horse. And seriously, I think the horse was grooving to it. That was awesome. Seriously, I'm the kind of guy who, literally one of the funniest things that happened was, because when they started doing, the whole Zoom auditions from, at home and stuff, obviously the judges and Terry Crews are, they're having fun, they're talking to each other. One of them asked, Terry, do you still have your flute? He's like, it's right here. Terry Crews, master of many talents. Seriously, Terry Crews, is there nothing you can't do? So, yes, those are my thoughts on America's Got Talent. I had a lot of fun. It was great seeing it back again. And there's going to be a new episode next week, which is awesome. Again, I don't really quite know how the format's going to work. Oh, gosh. Man, am I tired. I don't know how the format of America's Got Talent is going to work going forward. I mean, it's pretty much going to be, if it's still auditions, it's still going to be, still from at home, like it was in the latter half of last night's episode. But after the auditions are all said and done, I really don't know what's going to happen next. I had an itch in my ear. Yeah. There really isn't much else to, say or talk about other than, it was great. I mean, I guess I can quickly talk about how hot the weather's been. I mean, yesterday was hot, but it wasn't as unbearable as several of the days, last week. Although, one thing I should probably warn you guys is, seriously, in this weather, stay hydrated. Find ways to cool off if at all possible. I haven't seen it personally, but from what I hear, when people are dehydrated and thirsty, especially this time of year, they get kind of irritated and ornery. So again, be careful, stay safe out there. Put on lots of sunscreen. It's a PSA for, sun protection, whatever. And, not particularly much else. And, Yeah. Unfortunately, we're in that time of year where since 4th of July has been long gone, there really isn't much left to say or do in the realm of, like, because here's the thing, after 4th of July, there really isn't anything going on for the rest of the summer. Not until, like, maybe, well, yeah, there really isn't much anything else going on in the summer. Like, the next major holiday after 4th of July is usually, like, Labor Day. So that, I mean, just because there isn't necessarily a holiday doesn't mean there isn't any ways to get together and celebrate with others. I mean, some restrictions are sort of lifting, so who knows? You can find your own ways of entertaining yourselves. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, turn on notifications on YouTube. I'm very humble to make this video for all of you guys who watch the show today. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful hump day. And remember, if you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend you, and I'll always be back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.